Okay, well, I thought we should do this because it's in the papers absolutely everywhere. It's trending all over the planet. We've discussed and we've I felt it was kind of a need to kind of publicise some of the stuff around Kevin Spacey and Harvey Weinstein. And this is the story of Prince Andrew, who's done an interview with the BBC, Emily Maitlis, about his involvement, friendship, etc., what he did and didn't know about Jeffrey Epstein, after Epstein had come out of prison for underage sex. Now, obviously, the whole Epstein story is taking so many twists and turns that aren't actually being publicised that much in the UK press in America, insofar as a number of reports are suggesting that he did die in suspicious circumstances.
Really?
Allegedly, there are some individuals involved with the forensics of his body that suggest he didn't kill himself. I know that...
Are these conspiracy theories?
Well, I do...
Maybe murdered by another prisoner?
You might want to clarify for us, guys, but I do also believe that some of the security guards who were responsible for looking after him have been subpoenaed and have been offered plea deals. Now, that often suggests that there's some degree of plea deals for the security guards guarding Epstein. So, here's the thing. Epstein was an unforgivably hideous individual. Sex trafficking, convicted for, and with plea deals in Florida, escaped many other charges. And we know that he was guilty because he then paid restitution to numerous people who suffered. He was also convicted of sex with underage girls.
Sex trafficking? So how come he was back out?
Well, that's
what finds amazing to me, that he was went in and came back out.
This is it. But the thing that I'm going to take us towards, and this is all allegedly, but the feeling is that could there be a suitably convenient cover-up of a very unlikable individual with horrendous connections, but could there be a cover-up surrounding his death because he is connected to such high-flying individuals, not only such as Prince Andrew, but I know that there's a strong connection with Bill Clinton. And there's a lot of chatter around that connection. I'm tiptoeing around all of this. But I believe, knowing the way of the world, it wouldn't be at all surprising that Epstein is all the things we know he is. And unfortunately, some other people that we all know, who have higher connections and a lot of money, have possibly flirted at the edges of his court in a way that they don't want people to know about.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I'm not suggesting for a minute that there's a conspiracy theory, but I do think sometimes
But that's kind of the gossip.
That's the gossip, and
right.
I do think sometimes there's a willful desire not to face all the realities of someone, and let's just say that Epstein's awful, when in matter of fact there was a more endemic problem. It's the same with Weinstein. He's the figurehead, but in a strange way they almost become the martyr for the cause, and lots of other people with a lot of collateral damage around them escape.
Who are also as heinous as them.
Heinous as them, exactly. So this is part of the interview that Prince Andrew's given with Emily Maitlis. We're going to watch this when it comes out.
No, is it out now?
No. This is just the sub-clips. This is ahead of the interview. The interview, I think, goes out either tomorrow, Sunday, or Monday. Right. I'm not too sure. But he is...
And so he's answering the accusations that he shouldn't have then visited him after he came out of jail.
Absolutely. And why did he? And why was he photographed in Central Park walking along with Epstein and all that kind of stuff? So should we check it out?
Wow.
One of Epstein's accusers, Virginia Roberts, has made allegations against you. She says she met you in 2001. She says she dined with you, danced with you at Tramp nightclub in London. She went on to have sex with you in a house in Belgravia belonging to Ghislaine Maxwell, your friend. Your response?
I have no recollection of ever meeting this lady. None whatsoever.
You don't remember meeting her?
No. The problem was the fact that once he had been convicted,
you stayed with him.
I stayed with him, and that's the bit that as it were, I kick myself for on a daily basis, because it was not something that was becoming of a member of the royal family, and we try and uphold the highest standards and practices, and I let the side down. Simple as that.
God, I'm sorry, that is shocking.
That's curious language.
First of all, we don't see Prince Andrew in close-up like that.
You don't have a royal... Here's the thing, guys, who aren't in England. You don't have a member of royalty even have the word...
Princess Diana.
You don't have the word sex said, ever.
That is the most shocking thing since the Princess Diana interview with Michael Bashir. That is absolutely shocking.
Yeah.
Right. So first of all, that Emily Maitlis says you were dancing in tramps. Again, if you're
That's
in
almost
America or whatever, that's like the posh nightclub. It's where
Isn't
all
that
the
almost
sort of
as
aristocracy
sacrilegious
go.
as everything else?
It's where all the aristocracy go.
Right.
So you were dancing there. People will have seen that. I mean, if that's true, people will have seen that. And then allegedly you had sex with her. I mean, the fact that
You can't even begin to imagine, guys, what it means in this country for an interviewer to say that a member of the royal family has sex.
Prince Andrew.
But here's the thing. Here's what confuses
But
me. The
then-
language he uses.
Oh my God.
What did you think of that?
Well, that was all about reputation. That wasn't about what he'd done.
No.
Who goes to the house of a convicted paedophile under suspicion of sex trafficking
and underage sex.
and then just says, "Oh, I'm kicking myself for that.
It's like
I've
saying,
let the side down."
Let the side
What?
down.
What?
Now, okay, well, look, playing devil's advocate for a minute, he comes from an incredibly rarefied world.
Yeah.
Where language like that is part of the upper classes,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
So this is in no way excusing him, right? But
Playing devil's
advocate, could that be a symptom of the shame that he knows he's brought on the House of Windsor, essentially?
Because he made a silly mistake.
He made a silly mistake, and that'll be the terms and the language that's possibly being used about it by his brother and members of the family and things like that. And he has done that, but he's let down the victims. Hang on a minute.
There was not a mention
No.
of the victims and what that would have meant for somebody of his stature
Yeah.
and his fame in the world to
And his
go.
forbearance.
Because it makes... What is he saying when he goes to visit him at his house? Now, there are stories that apparently why he went out there was to tell him that he could no longer have a relationship. Now, you might say, could you not do that over the phone? Could you not do that over email? Could he have not met in a restaurant? Could he have not da-da-da? But I suppose, playing devil's advocate, he, like you say, comes from that rarefied world. He is the prince. And maybe that's the only place of safety. What could he have done? Could he have called him over to the palace to have that discussion? No. What I would have done if I'd been Prince Andrew is I would have got one of my many, many staff to phone him outside of the palace and say, obviously you are now a convicted paedophile. The prince can no longer have a friendship with you.
Well, with all due respect, if you're caught in Central Park walking, if you know you're going to say that you're going to distance yourself from him, you're not going to be seen publicly with him or want to be seen publicly with him. Are you? You might want to ask, is this true? Now, here's another thing. I saw an interviewee on Sky News last night saying, again, playing devil's advocate here, could he, having been in the royal family all his life, lived in this world of tabloid headlines, there's been a lot of stuff around him and Princess Fergie and Sarah Ferguson and all that kind of stuff. Could he have thought or felt that he's in a sort of almost ivory tower of bubble wrap, where all this stuff's thrown at you all the time, and that these accusations were just other ones that were being thrown at someone that he knew? Now, even if that were the case, if you're a member of the royal family, you also must know that you need to distance yourself from that. You just have to distance yourself from that.
Well, you know what? As a human being, right, if you know that somebody has done the things that Epstein had, you don't ever converse with them again.
Well, do you want to know what my theory on it all is?
What?
And this is only a theory. My theory is that there's more stuff to come out.
Well,
and
that's
that
what I
this
was
is
going
a
to say.
preemptive strike.
Again, for those of you that are out that are not in the UK, this is unprecedented. This does not happen in the royal family. The only time this happened before was when Princess Diana went round the back and the palace knew nothing of it. This is condoned by the palace, which I agree with you.
Yeah.
My first instinct is to think, what else is coming? Because it feels like they're trying to stop the tsunami before it
Exactly.
hits.
And if it's not new information coming, it's the fact that the information that's out there that of this woman who suggested that he had sex with her
and that she was forced to have sex.
And that she was forced to have sex. This is going to step up a level and ratchet up a level. The other problem could be, going back to my earliest assessment, that if question marks are beginning to hover over the nature of Epstein's death, we could be looking at an incredibly complicated, time-consuming and sensational expose of the higher echelons of the world's uber rich. That's all I'm going to say.
But of course, we don't know anything for sure.
No.
But what we do know is...
That's unprecedented.
This is unprecedented. This is bizarre.
It is, isn't it?
There is a very bizarre...
Because there's nothing about the story in the press bubbling at the moment. So he's just come out and reignited it. It's very odd.
And for Emily Maitlis, again, and I know people that have met Prince Andrew many times, and he is allegedly a very pompous, pompous chap, rude, doesn't suffer fools, puffed up with importance of his... To sit there and to be asked in the way that Emily Maitlis asked him, like that, straight down the barrel.
Either he's a great poker player because his eyes didn't flicker at all.
I felt he was very well schooled.
Did you?
You know, I love the royal family.
Yeah, we're royalists.
I love the royal family.
I do.
I don't want this to be
happening.
happening.
Soft spot for
I used
the
to have a
Queen.
massive crush on Prince Andrew.
Did you?
Yeah, when he was gorgeous and young.
Oh, God.
But
what do you think, guys?
You know what, though? Just a moment for his daughters.
Oh, don't.
And for the Queen.
Yeah.
For the Queen.
93.
And for Prince Philip, 99 this year. You know, whatever the situation is, whether he is squeaky clean, Prince Andrew, or whether there is some mucky something going on, they're in their 90s and they're having to put up with this. Shocking.
I wonder what Harry makes of it. I love Harry.
Oh, we love Harry. We love Prince Andrew. We love them all.
Prince Andrew.
Sorry.
Prince William.
Prince William.
You obviously did love Prince
I love
Andrew.
Prince Charles.
I love Prince Charles. Let's not start unpeeling everything. But anyway, tell us what you think. What do you think?
What do you think? We're just musing.
Yeah.
We don't know.
What do you think the
what's going
coruscating
on?
storylines are?
What's going on?